So when I was very young, both of my parents were students here at SIU. This is probably between the ages of maybe 3 and 7 for me. So I spent a lot of time on campus, and Shemega was out. They had a couple students that would take Shemega out for walks on a leash, you know, like walk your dog. So it was interesting. I think because I was so young, I didn't think it was very strange, you know, because when you're young, you maybe don't question it as much. It just was something that they did here on campus, so it was kind of fun.
Well, I grew up in Edwardsville, so the university was always a place we would come out. You know, you'd go to the bowling alley, you know, hike through the woods. But Shemega was, you know, there was a live cougar in your town that lived here, you know, in a cage right here under these trees where we're talking. So, you know, just we would come out. It was always neat to go see a cougar.
I first learned about Shemega I think when I was a student, so a really long time ago. But I started looking more into the history of the cougars when I started teaching FST 101, which is the first semester transition course for SIUE students. And it was something that I worked into the course so that the students today would know about the history of SIUE. And it's an obscure part of the history. Not many people know that we had a live mascot in the past, and even fewer people know where one of the live cougars was buried. But I do know that when in 1985, when Shemega was buried here, it was right in between Peck Hall and Founders Hall, and which at the time, Founders Hall and Alumni Hall were called Buildings 1 and 2, so it's right here at this point. And I didn't have any direct experience, and I don't think I've even ever met anybody in my time here that remembers.
My experience with the cougars was, it was fun. Again, I was a small child, so it was a lot of fun to get to pet them. Because again, they would have students that would take the cougar out for walks and around campus and over to the swimming area, which used to be where the old outdoor swimming pool is now closed over near Cougar Village. They would frequently bring the cougar over there and just walk it around like you would walk your dog around.
But I remember being a really, really little kid. You know, I don't know, I'll guess maybe 8, 9 years old, coming out here with my mom. And there were cougar guards that were students, college students. And I don't mean anything about any of you all, but I'm not sure that I would let my kid around a cougar that was a college student was in charge of. But anyway, just kidding. But I would remember when I was probably like, I would say somewhere around 8 or 9, and we would come out she had a cage they had her in that was under these trees. And they let me go in the cage one time with her. And I know my mom told me later on, she said, I was standing there watching you walk in, and I couldn't, you know, I thought, what am I doing? You know, I'm letting my little girl walk into this cage with a cougar. I remember going up and seeing her. I can't honestly say I remember petting her or not, if that was allowed. You know, but those were really neat experiences, good memories.
When I was young and I got to see the cougar here on campus and interact with it in person, it was a lot of fun, and I always really enjoyed it. I do think that it probably was not the most humane thing for the campus to have a cougar here on campus in a cage. It was a fairly large cage, but still, I don't think that would happen today, and I think that's a good thing.
Well, it was always very unique. You know, I think college mascots are great to have a live animal. You know, to me, the liability of it would frighten me if I was anybody with it. You know, as a kid, you didn't think about that. As an adult, you know, you think, well, that's a big responsibility. You know, maybe bulldogs or something. You know, it's a little different. You know, Salukis, we don't like them, but Carbondale is the Saluki. So I imagine they have a Saluki or two hanging out. I mean, that'd be neat to have a live animal like that would be a mascot. Cougar's a tough one to fill. I think maybe, a dog or a cat, a feline, a small house cat would be okay, but the SIUE house cats maybe aren't the same as SIUE cougar. Sounds a little better.